Hello, Philip. I understand that you were getting ready to post a video about how you've turned around on Goldberg, but I felt like I need to preempt it with this video as well. And I understand that you're just a concept inside my head. You're a character that I play occasionally, but you're going to be the person that I vent to for the next however minute. I felt the need to make this video because I'm not, absolutely not, the only person who suffers from depression. But I felt like I needed to get kind of my case or my story somewhat off my chest so that way people who interact with me understand why I kind of act the way I do sometimes. I wish I could tell you where my depression started, but I don't. I don't remember. There are parts of my childhood. I don't remember much of it because most of it is kind of blocked in my head. The mind kind of does that when there are traumatic events that it doesn't want you to remember. So, sweet, good job, brain, which is also a great podcast. I don't remember where it started. All I can remember is sometimes when things, even when so my earliest thing that I can remember about having a bout with depression is I was in 4th grade. And I was a straight A student. I never got a B in my entire life, and that carried on for a little while. But I was in 4th grade, and my mom picked up my report card for me because I was sick. And she told me that I had a B on it. I had a B in math. And I cried myself to sleep that night. And I remember not leaving my room for about 3 days straight. I didn't eat. I didn't play anything. I laid in my bed for 3.5 days actually. Albeit my mother then told me that it wasn't a B, that it was an actual A, but that was my first real bout of depression. There aren't things that trigger my depression, it just kind of happens. I could just be hanging out and I get a bout where I kind of have to disassociate myself with people. Due to nothing that has happened or nothing that they've done. It happens when I'm at home. I could be in my room in the middle of a game and suddenly I can't finish the game. I no longer want to finish the game. I no longer want to touch things. I want to get in my bed, put the covers over my head, and not be me for a while. When I was a teenager, I used to always disassociate myself during these bouts, to the point where I used to think when I was a teenager that if I tried hard enough during these bouts that I would realize that I'm actually sleeping and that the real me is in a coma, and somehow the technology was available to where they could see what I was thinking about in my head, so that essentially my entire life was a dream. I had disassociated myself that much that I assumed during these bouts that my life was a dream. Obviously they weren't. I was a teenager living in Las Vegas where the worst of my childhood happened. When my sisters and I moved into the first group home, I would get these bouts almost on a daily basis. I would go to school, and around 5th period, I would start to disassociate myself. It would take me 12 minutes to walk from 5th period to 6th period, and it was, under regular circumstances, maybe a 4-minute walk. It's just because I walked at my own pace because I couldn't concentrate on where I was going. I would walk aimlessly to get there, and eventually I would get there because I knew the knowledge that it was on the other side of the campus. Moving in and out of the group homes was bad enough, but my first bouts of serious depression happened in about 2003, 2004, when I was separated with my sisters. Up until then, we had done pretty well, or they had done pretty well on keeping us together, but the family that took me in didn't want to take my sisters in. And for the first 3 months, I think I ate maybe 5 times. I didn't want to be alive anymore. And so I had my first suicide attempt. Obviously I failed because I'm right here making this video. But it just got so bad that the depression had won. it was like that for a while until I found basketball and I joined the basketball team. I was a starter for a while, and then I wasn't a starter because my depression would not allow me to come to practice often. Once I would leave school, I would forget that there was practice, and I would begin to aimlessly walk around western Las Vegas, Nevada for about an hour and a half before ending up at home. Or when I had my bike, I would ride my bike around until I made it home. It was when I was at basketball that I would think about the things that made me happy. It gave me happiness that I didn't have for a while. So fast forward to 2005, where I moved in with my dad in Washington, D.C. Didn't know anybody there but him and my grandmother. And just the fact of being away from essentially the people who I've been with for my entire life, whether it be my mom or my grandmother or the foster parents that took me in, again, started another bad spell of depression. But luckily, the day that I enrolled at Dunbar High School in DC was the very same day that I joined the football team. I was let on the football team because the coach saw me when I was enrolling in my class. Football really helped me with my depression a lot. It took out a lot of thinking. Football is 115% about muscle memory. If you understand what you're doing, whether you're a receiver, you understand your routes, your quarterback understanding where your receivers will be, or me as a lineman understanding where my gaps to fill were or where my gaps to shoot through were. It took out a lot of guesswork and thinking for me, so I didn't have time to think about the things that put me where I was. My mind was too focused on getting to point A when I'm on defense or protecting the quarterback when I'm on offense. After the season, football wasn't there anymore, and the depression set in. And the depression made me quit the Dunbar High School team. And it got so bad after that I actually left Dunbar to go to Eastern High School. So I switched high schools after that. We had moved. I had the option to stay at Dunbar. I didn't stay. Fast forward a little bit, and in 2010, my friends and I got together, and we were all wrestling fans. I've been a wrestling fan since I was knee-high, and we decided to retroactively start a backyard wrestling company. And we didn't. We waited forever to start it, and it never really saw the light of day until I had the initiative to start DCW Destroy Everything. And it was at that point that my depression had gone away. I was in the world that I wanted to get in. I was in the world of wrestling. And that lasted for 2 years until I got married. And getting married was the happiest day of my damn life. I was so excited to get married. But in that marriage, when you're constantly told that, you're not good enough, the job that you work isn't manly enough, or if I were to leave, I would never find anybody, that stuff weighs on you. It weighed on me a lot because I started to believe it. I still kind of believe it sometimes. So when I disassociate with people, either on Facebook, where countless times I've deactivated my Facebook, or if I'm just dormant on Facebook and I'm not really talking to anybody, it's probably because I'm having one of those bouts of depression. So I apologize to people. It makes being a friend hard. So fucking hard to be a friend or maintain a relationship. I'm a clingy person as it is. If you're my friend or if we're in a relationship, I'm an extremely clingy person. But when I'm having a bout of depression, I can't cling. I repel. I back away, and it sucks because if I want a relationship or if I want to continue my friendships, backing away is like the last thing that you're supposed to do, and it makes it difficult because I want to show my friends or I want to show my future girlfriend that I care. It's just hard to when you disassociate yourself as often as I do. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk to you for a little bit, Philip, about why you haven't been uploading videos to this channel, why you haven't finished your podcast or released your next episode, why you haven't been recording gameplay footage. I just wanted you to understand that. However, now that this video is made, we're gonna hold each other accountable. So I want you to hold TheChrisKazama accountable, and I'm gonna hold Philip J. Fry accountable. And we're gonna start uploading again. If you battle depression or you get these bouts, like, subscribe, comment. I know that seems bad, but the reason being is because I want people to understand that we're not alone in this battle, and people deal with the same things that we do. So comment and let me know how you deal with your depression, and we can talk about it, because talking about it is I feel, the best way to deal with it. So I made this video, and I'm running out of camera time, so I'll talk to you guys about whatever next time. And then Philip J. Fry is going to talk about why he suddenly likes Goldberg. Ciao.